Hey guys, it's Brandon Miniman from PocketNow.com, and in this video we're going to compare Windows Phone 7 with the iPhone. Should be interesting, let's get to it. Now before getting started, we should mention that this is not final Windows Phone 7 hardware or software. So in this video we're going to compare the design philosophies behind the home screens of both of these operating systems. They both look very different, they operate very differently, and we're going to talk about how they are similar and how they are different. Now we've compared the web browser and the email client among the Windows Phone 7 device here and the iPhone and Android. I'll put a link up at the end of the video in case you want to jump back and see those comparisons because they are pretty telling. But for this video we're going to focus on the home screen experience. So let's get started, and we're going to actually start with the unlock screen. Both have completely different philosophies in terms of what you should see when you want to unlock your device. The iPhone shows you the date and the time and nothing else, and it's always been that way since Generation 1 of the iPhone software. Windows Phone 7 goes a little bit further. What you will get is email notification, missed calls, and missed SMS here on the bottom. Also, if you have a new calendar appointment, it will show up on your lock screen, so you don't actually have to unlock your phone if you want to see if you have an appointment coming up. So we're going to unlock both of these devices, and we are taken to the home screens. Now, just by looking at these side by side, you can tell that they're extremely different in terms of the layout of the home screens. Apple thinks that a smartphone should have a very application-centric home screen, and that's what you get with the iPhone. You can only put applications on your home screen in addition to internet shortcuts and folders. There's nothing else you can put here. You can't put a contact. You can't put any sort of live widgets that show you information. It's just icons and icons and icons of applications. Windows Phone 7 is entirely different. Microsoft lets you add a wide variety of tiles to your home screen that do different things and bring information forward without you having to dig into the application to get information. Let me give you an example. I'll show you how I have this home screen set up. So at the top, I've got a link to a video that I want to play. Keep it within easy reach. Here's a Me tab, which will show me my Facebook update and sort of some information about me. I'm going to go back. Here I've got a link to Amy, which is let's say it's a good friend of mine that I want to call on a regular basis. You can't do that in the iPhone. We've got an indicator for my Gmail account. Of course, you can do that on the iPhone. We've got a shortcut to PocketNow.com here, and that is something else you can do on the iPhone. You can put internet shortcuts there on your home screen. Let's continue down the list. This is something you can't do on the iPhone. I've got a link to a map location. So let's say you find a restaurant you like, or you want to put a map location to your house so you can get back to it. If I tap on that, it will take me to the Empire State Building in Bing Maps. Here's a live tile, which will show me information. It's the calendar tile. And so if I have a new appointment coming up, it will show up within that live tile. I've got a link. Of course, you can add application links, a link to Internet Explorer, a link to the Xbox Hub, and this will actually turn into a live tile if you've got your Xbox associated to your Microsoft Live account, and then it will show you your avatar. Going down, we have a Pictures live tile, which will show you the background of the Pictures Hub, which you can actually change. So right now I've got this kind of meadow as a background, and it is reflected like that in the hub, or in the live tile. Down here I've got another live tile for music and video. It shows me the recent most artist I was playing, and it shows a picture of Brandon Flowers, the artist from The Killers, because I was listening to an album that they recently came out with. A link to Marketplace and Settings, just standard. I've got a link to my Pictures album, my favorite Pictures album, which is quite nice. Here's another live tile for people, which will show me kind of visually within a quick glance what is going on Facebook. It doesn't integrate with Twitter, unfortunately. And over here is a link to a good song that I like to listen to. It shows you the album art, so you can jump right to the song that you want. And the idea behind the Windows Phone 7 start screen really expands when third parties can get a hold of it. They can actually make their own live tiles. So you can see live tiles for sports scores, for TV, what's coming next on your favorite station. I mean, the possibilities are endless. iPhone really hasn't changed. You can't do that much home screen without jailbreaking. Now, another way that Windows Phone 7 and iPhone differs is how applications are listed. So here in Windows Phone 7, if we tap on this arrow here or swipe to the right, you get a full list of all the apps on your device. But they're not really organized in a nice way. Of course, you can take your favorite apps, pin them to the start screen, but by default, it's an alphabetical list that will get endlessly long if you have a lot of apps. iPhone really isn't that much better. If you have lots and lots of apps, you're going to have screen after screen after screen of applications. Although at least in the iPhone operating system, you can make a new shortcut or a new folder to group together similar games or utilities or whatever social network apps so that you don't have to go through an endlessly long list of shortcuts. So Windows Phone 7 is totally different than iPhone because it takes a sort of dynamic approach to the start screen, which I think a lot of people are going to find compelling. iPhone is just apps and apps and apps and your occasional internet shortcut, but Windows Phone 7 is so much deeper than that, which is fantastic. Hopefully they find out a better way to organize this list of programs because it's just not really friendly to people that have lots of applications. Really quickly, I want to talk about how you switch between two different applications. iPhone now has great multitasking, or fast app switching, as it's more aptly called. So let's go into Settings, and then we will go into the Phone app, and then we'll bounce between the two. And let's say we wanted to do the same thing in Windows Phone 7. So we are here at the Settings, and now we want to get to the Phone app. So just like on the iPhone, you go back to the home screen, and we are going to go to the Phone app, which is actually over here. And let's figure out how to jump between the two. I'm going to get my keypad on the screen. Okay, so in iPhone, if I want to go into the Phone app and quickly jump into Settings, I go to Phone, double tap here, jump into Settings. So fast app switching, right? I can toggle between the two really fast. I can even go through my history of other applications and load those on. Windows Phone 7, it's not as easy. So I can go down to the Settings and open that up. Now, how do you toggle back to the phone? Well, if you press the back button, you'll eventually get to the phone, back to the start screen, and here's the phone. Okay, now how do I get to the settings again? Well, if I press back again, I'm just going to go through call history. It's not going to go to settings. So I'm going to have to go back to the start screen, find the settings, and go in through there. The fast app switching doesn't exist in Windows Phone 7. You can step back to a previous application, but you can't go forward to that other application that you started on. It's really a bit messy, and it's not that intuitive. iPhone does fast app switching so much better now. And of course, with Android, you tap and hold on the home button, and you can do fast app switching that way. And finally, one thing to end up with here, we're going to talk about play controls. Let's say you're playing a song on the iPhone, you're playing a song on Windows Phone 7. How do you actually interact with that music when you're in another application? So I'm going to jump into, I'm just going to press play here, and nothing's going to play. So I'm going to play a song up here. Okay, I'm going to turn that down a little bit. It's a John Mayer song playing in the background right now, and you get a little indicator at the top of the screen which lets you know that you're playing a song. Now I'm going to go into the Music and Video Hub and start playing a song that I have here on the Windows Phone 7 device. Okay, I'm going to turn the volume down. Okay, now let's say you want to work on other stuff while listening to music. Great, so I want to go into my calendar while I'm listening to music. Now, how do I access the play controls? In Windows Phone 7, this is actually pretty interesting. You press the volume buttons. You get the play controls kind of pop down from the top, which is nice. And from here, you can pause, you can go to the next track, or adjust the volume. In iPhone, it's equally as easy. You double tap, and you slide to the left, and you can stop the music from playing, or you can change the volume through the volume rocker at the top. You could argue that Windows Phone 7 does this better because everything is up here at the top of the screen, whereas on the iPhone, play controls are on the bottom, volume requires you to press on the rocker. So that was a quick look at sort of the different philosophies behind Windows Phone 7 and the iPhone. The iPhone has a completely different layout on the home screen. It's very application focused. On Windows Phone 7, it's sort of action and information focused, which a lot of people may find refreshing. So please thumbs up this video, and thanks for watching. We're going to put some links up at the video right now in case you want to jump back to the web browser comparison or the email comparison between Windows Phone 7, iPhone, and Android. That's it for now.